Hi, everybody. Sylvia LaFair here with some tips for what happens when the direction you were going has a do not follow this sign road, dead end. It's when we have a job loss or we're pretty sure that things are going to be downsized. It's a strange time, crazy time for everybody, but it's not the first. The roller coaster ride of life just seems to go on. But here's an idea. If you've lost your job and you're sitting there going, what do I do now? My suggestion is to do something so totally different from whatever you do in the day, just one thing. It'll begin to get your mind into a new framework for saying, oh, I never thought of it that way before. Let me give you an example. One of the things that I learned years ago was to deflect the emotion onto something else. So, I love reading, and I love reading nonfiction, and I love reading novels, but I don't like reading cookbooks. I don't like reading anything about mathematics. I don't like anything about weightlifting. So, what did I do? When I had a job loss mega years ago and it kind of kicked me in the gut, I started looking at, now you can do it online. In those days, I went into a bookstore and looked at the magazines, and I started picking up books about things that absolutely I had no interest. Modern mechanics and how to fix a car and what do you do if you want to gain a lot of muscle weight. And what happened as I read these books was all of a sudden I began to have other thoughts about, that looks interesting. That looks interesting. So if you do this just to create some space in your mind for something new things will happen. I promise you that. New ideas will come to you when you're falling asleep, when you're walking, as many of us are doing now as our best way of exercising, masks on, walking outside, looking at the computer. You don't have a mask when you're sitting at your own computer. But what happens that's so critical is you want to create the energy of something new. So it's not an end all be all, but when you're at that moment when you're feeling the most sorry for yourself, simply get online and follow the route to something totally uninteresting to you before this day. I promise you, you will find some magic that happens. It happens to all of us. So give it a go, see what happens, let me know, and call me if you need some extra cheerleading. I have a ton of ideas for you. We'll get through this, we'll get through it together. The world will look different, hopefully in a healthful, positive way as we move through this strange time of everybody having to find something new in their lives. Thank you so much to your success.